Brent Ulisky, going to be demonstrating some basic soldering skills here. We have a group East Penn roofing guys taking the Slate installation and repair course, and then we have John here from Portland, Oregon area, also taking the course.
So what's that bar do?
You know the chemical process on it?
Oh, it just creates a chemical reaction.
Yeah, it makes the solder adhere. Right now, without that, you can just kind of beat it up and it'll just fall right off.
Oh, I got you.
But once this heats up, it starts smoking, and I'll be able to tin the whole thing. It'll all look like solder on it.
How often would you have to do that?
Usually it's the beginning of the day.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Or if your tip looks good, you can just heat it up and clean it up with a brush. It's only if you have to do like a bunch of filing, and you take it back down to raw copper, then you have to tin. There, it's gonna start going now. Yeah, it's gonna smoke a lot.
Putting a little flux on the tip help on tinning it, or?
No, I don't think so. The way I used to clean the tip is to have a little bit of watered down flux, and then after it's tinned, you can just dip it in there and it'll get all the impurities to fall. There we go.
Just basically getting it to stick off over that. Doesn't look like it takes much.
Yeah, if you're just clean it off when it starts getting goobered up.
And you're still
You
good
just
to go.
scrape it off. Like I said, basically the only time to do it is if you have to file something down to get it flat again, because you're trying to keep all your sides flat. And if you're going too hot and too long, it'll start cupping a little bit, and this side will cup in this way. That's when you'll file it flat again, and you'll have to retin. It all depends on what you're doing, how hot your iron's running all day.
Yeah, just keep checking it.
Yeah, so usually just every morning I'll file it real quick and do that just to be on the safe side. So we got the irons ready to go. We have a lock joint here. Another thing about soldering too, the tighter you have your lock, the easier and better your solder is going to be. So if they're loose or
And do you always need a lock on a soldered seam?
no, not always. You can do a lap seam. Like when I'm doing my chimney flashings, like the corners, I just wrap around.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. For
Yeah.
the corners where you just wrap around.
That's just a lap seam and then solder it. Because
Just make it a little wider.
It doesn't get much expansion and contraction, so I've never really worried about that. But like flat lock or something like that, where something's gonna have a lot of expansion and contraction, you're gonna want a double or a lock joint. So yeah, you gotta make sure you get it down, get everything nice and tight.
That's what you call flux?
Yeah, this is acid flux. Even though it looks real clean, just any finger oil or anything like that, you can count, just oxidization.
Does the flux get under enough of that seam that the solder will suck in without any problem?
Yeah, when you put the heat to it, the same as the solder will suck around, it takes the flux will go around and the solder and everything. Yeah, so basically we're ready to solder. The hardest part of your iron is going to be your heel. So your side that you have your lock on has the most copper wrap. That's where you want to keep your heat. So if this lock is on the other side, we'd be holding the iron this way. So you'll have the heel on your upper side. most heat on that. Usually wait a little bit,
Get it warm.
yeah, get it warm. If you just try to cold go, it'll start lumping up a little. What you want to do is you want to get a puddle started. And you're just going to drag that puddle.
Neat.
And you keep going until you start to run out. Don't go, this is a slow process. Don't try to go too fast because you want to make sure everything gets sweated. Sometimes if you go too fast, it'll look like it's all covered, but you're actually just bridging the joint. So you want to make sure.
There's nothing really in the inside.
Yeah, just don't try to rush it. You just want to keep dragging that puddle. If you watch, you can actually see it sucking around and hear it. Sometimes it'll even bubble.
You're basically covering about 2 inches at a time.
Yeah, you can see that solder just melts into that seam.
What is this, 50/50 or what is it?
This is 50/50.
How much time do you have after you fluxed to solder?
It'll last a while, maybe an hour. If you don't pay attention, you like run out. No worries, just step back, let it heat up a second. Get another puddle going, let it melt back on, and start over. This is 20 ounce too. If it's 16, it heats up a lot quicker. So you can solder a bit faster on 16 ounce.
What about stainless steel?
Stainless is a whole different beast. It retains heat extremely well. Like I could be soldering here, and all the way back here, this is still
Burning
molten.
hot.
Yeah. Which makes doing verticals extremely difficult because you just keep sweating everything out because the metal gets so hot.
Is lead hard to solder? I heard it is because the melting point of lead is only 50 degrees higher than solder.
Yeah, I've done some stone chimneys that we had to put lead flashes on it because the stones are so organic. And yeah, you'd be extremely careful. Yeah, so what you're looking for is, everything's all even, like kind of looks like glass, it's real smooth. That's what you're looking for. If the iron's too cold, it'll be kind of like chunky, kind of like that little bubble right there, except it'll be like the whole thing's just kind of chunky. That means your iron's not hot enough, copper's not hot enough.
Is there like a rule of thumb where like a certain number of times where you go over a certain area and you wouldn't be able, like if you did this once, how many more? Like if you did a mistake and you want to go over it again, how?
Oh, you can go right.
Flex
You can go
it,
over
okay.
it. Yeah. Just like you've seen,
more time.
like right now, if I check all my joints sometimes. Just every once in a while, you're going, you're not paying attention. I'll look back through and like, oh, I missed a spot there. You just jump back in, get ahead of it, heat the joint up, add some more solder, and go right back over it.
Once it cools down, you just take a rag and wipe it clean.
Yeah, usually some water and baking soda, or just
Yeah.
like Dawn dish soap and some
Yeah.
water.
You ever do like the stitch?
Nah, not usually, because if this is sweated properly,
Yeah, it's good.
yeah, yeah, I think it's just a waste of solder. That's just a lap joint, no
Yeah.
rivets in it.
So you just bend it as tight as you can and flux here and
You might use a clamp or something to.
clamp it maybe.
Yeah, for most of the time I do it in place. What I do is I probably just get like a tack here, here, and here, and then you can bang it, peen it down so it's nice and flat, and go towel on it.